Jamal Charlo! Yeah!
Playing Call of Duty and they running that door.
Yo no podía soportar tu tanta falta de querer.
What's going on, you guys? So, looks like Errol Spence Jr. has found his escape plan. And I must admit it's a legit one. Canelo Alvarez expressed interest in facing Errol Spence Jr. I'm sure a lot of you guys heard it by now that he's willing to melt back down to 160, to pull Errol Spence up to 160 to make a fight. Now, it's a lot of questions. One, does Errol Spence Jr. really stand a chance against Canelo Alvarez? Two, is he going to do this after he fight Terrence Crawford? And three, how does the Charlos feel about this? Now, going back to the first one, I think Canelo Alvarez bodies Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. he doesn't have the type of style that gives Canelo Alvarez problems. He's a southpaw, but Canelo Alvarez is experienced enough, and he's been in there with quite a few different type of guys, a lot of different styles. He's been in there with a lot of different dudes. There's nothing that Errol Spence brings to the fight that he hasn't seen before. ABC, 1, 2, 3. Canelo Alvarez seen that shit a million times. I have a feeling that type of fight would look like a sparring match, more or less, right? Unless Canelo Alvarez really just come out to just knock him out, like he did against Amir Khan. You know, Amir Khan was kind of winning that fight until Canelo Alvarez landed that big shot. But see, Errol Spence Jr. doesn't have that type of hand speed like Amir Khan does. And Canelo Alvarez is actually a better fighter now than he was then. Defense got a lot better and everything. Canelo Alvarez is a sturdy dude, durable, always showed a strong chin. Really, it'll just be a cash grab for Errol Spence in a win-win situation. And an escape route to get away from Terrence Crawford. Now, what does this leave Terrence Crawford? Looking like that fight is getting further and further away from a reality. First, you hear about Manny Pacquiao. Then you hear about Canelo being interested. Canelo actually said he was interested. We heard him say it. The Pacquiao stuff, that's hearsay. But the Canelo, he actually said it. Per translation, but he said it. But what does this leave Bud? What is Bud Crawford to do? Well, I say he go ahead and fight Sean Porter. Run him out the ring. Because let's be honest about the Porter fight. Sean's best chance is within the first 3 rounds. After that, it's the Bud show. It's going to look similar to the De'Aaron John fight. But will Errol Spence Jr. fight Terrence Crawford? He made a promise to boxing fans that he wasn't he's going to fight Crawford in 2020 or if not 2021. Will he fight Pacquiao and then hop right into a Canelo fight? That's if he even fights Pacquiao. He may end up fighting somebody like a Ugas next or something. Right? Or even a Sean Porter while we over here bullshitting. While we thinking we go get the stuff we want, but this is boxing. We know we ain't gonna get what we want. But the Spence-Canelo fight is a good fight. It's a good fight. But you got to see Crawford first. You got to finish that story. If you're really the big fish, you got to go out there and prove it. You got to beat Terrence Crawford. I don't think you can do it. Now about the Charlos. This is something that they've been kind of looking at for years. One may say that they actually turned down the fight, but we're not going to really elaborate on that here. But that's a fight that they've been looking to get. That's the fight that the Charlo twins wanted. Jamal, you take your pick. They wanted it. Anybody in any middleweight division will be knocking at that door to fight Canelo Alvarez. It's like hitting a lottery. The question is, when these guys get in there with Canelo, are they going to go out there to beat him? We're going to see Saturday night if Caleb Smith actually comes out to beat Canelo. Because if you ask me, and I'm a Canelo fan, but if you ask me, his past few fights been looking like some glorified sparring matches. Like, dudes just like, it don't look like it's real. It look like they just kind of just playing around and making millions. Nobody really got the juice to take away from Canelo to beat him. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody was to go, like let's say, for example, if Andre was to go out and beat Canelo, he don't have that kind of juice to carry that what Canelo had. So he'll be fucking the money up. But somebody like Errol Spence, who really, let's just be honest, I don't really see him hurting Canelo. But low risk, high reward fight for Canelo. It's a low risk, high reward fight for Canelo. That's what the Errol Spence fight is. He knows that Errol Spence ain't gonna be able to hurt him. He knows that Errol Spence ain't got nothing for him, but it's a big fight. He's from Texas. He could sell out the whole arena. It's a big money fight. It's a cash grab for both guys. There's a low chance that Canelo Alvarez loses that fight against Errol Spence Jr. But the Charlo twins, what does this leave them? Seems like Canelo Alvarez, this is right up his alley. Pull the little guy up, snatch the big guy down. This is something that Canelo Alvarez likes to do. How you gonna go and fight an Errol Spence Jr. before you fight guys like Andrade and Charlo and how for Errol Spence? How you go fight a Canelo when you still got Keith Thurman on the plate and you got Terrence Crawford, the fight that everybody in boxing been talking about for the past 3 years? You gonna really leave that to go do that? Because if you go up to 160, it's highly likely that you're not going to go back down to 147 again. But we'll see how this plays out. It is a big fight, but I feel that a lot of guys got a lot of food on the table before they can make that kind of fight. But I feel that they're going to go ahead and make that fight just to go ahead and get away from it, and everybody go forget about it. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.